Good morning, Year 4. It is Monday, the 15th of June, halfway through June already. So on a Monday, we read as a reader. So this text is a text from a Roman record, like the Roman Times. It's like a newspaper, and it's top tips for tourists. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, is it? It's a bit made up, and it's supposed to make you laugh a little bit. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we'll have a look at the text in more depth. So from the Roman record, AD 100. They say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So here's what you have to do to avoid standing out like the straw chewing bumpkin you actually are. Wheels. Anything with wheels on is banned during the day. You can only bring your horse and cart into the city at night, and it's almost gridlocked even then. Litter. Now, I was thinking that litter meant as in rubbish, but it doesn't. If you read it in context, you'll see it has another meaning. If you can afford it, get yourself carried around in a litter, so you won't have to walk in the mud and sewage that coats the pavement. Yuck. You can also look down on all the beggars, drunks, thieves and peddlers that you will see you as easy prey if you're on their level. Waste. Try and avoid the narrowest streets. They're uncomfortably crowded and people throw their waste out of the windows. If you do get drenched by the contents of a chamber pot, just feel lucky it wasn't a brick or concrete beam. Plenty of them fall off the tops of buildings every day. Ferrets. If you must go out at night, do take some bodyguards, as well as ferret your bottom of the heap poor people who rob tourists like you quicker than you can say Tempest Fugit. There are also gangs of posh kids who think it's fun to go out and give an unsuspecting passing by a good kicking. Goodness me. Okay, so there's lots to get our teeth into here, lots to think about. So I've just picked up a few, I think, I wonder, and I question. Of course, there's plenty more for you to have a little look at as well. So the first part that I've picked up on, it says, they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And I've put here, I wonder who made up this saying and what it really means. Because you do hear that, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But what does that actually mean? So that's something that you might want to research yourself. The second part I've picked up here, it says anything with wheels on is banned during the day. So why are wheels banned during the day? What will the wheels do? Will they ruin the streets? Or will they run somebody over because it's so busy? I wonder what that sentence actually means. The other thing that I've put here is it says it's almost gridlocked even then. So it's almost gridlocked. So when I'm looking at that term there, I think the term gridlock means it's really busy, because gridlock means that nothing's moving. We even have that term today, don't we? That the streets are gridlocked. It's so busy that everything almost comes to a standstill. And then the bit I picked up on here, I wonder, it says litter, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Now litter, when we think about litter, it's rubbish being thrown about, but this means something else, because it says if you can afford it, get yourself carried around in a litter. So I've put, I wonder what a litter actually is. What type of vehicle is it? Is it somebody who carries you about like a chariot? Because if wheels are banned during the day, what is a litter? So that's something else that maybe that you could look at as well. Here I've put, you can also look down at all the beggars, drunks, thieves and peddlers. So I wonder what a peddler is. So I've put that as my question there. Then the next thing I've picked up on here is waste. It's this next paragraph here. It says, try and avoid the narrowest streets. They're uncomfortably crowded and people throw their waste out of the windows. So I've put there, I've put a wonder and I think. So I'm almost answering my own wonder. I put, I wonder why they throw it out of the windows. So why the windows? Why don't they throw it out of the door? Why don't they go outside and put it neatly on the roadway? But I've put there probably because the drainage systems are yet to be introduced. So they didn't have proper toilets, so they just threw everything from the chamber pot which was placed under the bed for people to go to the toilet in or anything like that. And they'd throw their waste out of the window. So it says there, if you didn't get drenched by the contents of a chamber pot, you're supposed to be lucky that it wasn't a brick or a concrete beam falling off the buildings, because obviously the buildings, some of them in the narrowest streets, weren't made very well. And then the last bit here is this bit: if you must go out at night, do take some bodyguards. So I've put there, I wonder what, oh sorry, I've made a mistake there. I wonder what bodyguards were and how much they were paid. What did they look like? I wonder what type of bodyguards they were. I've missed a word out there. I'm sure you'd have noticed that, year 4. So I wonder what they look like. How did you get hold of a bodyguard? How much were they paid? Were they loyal? So there's quite a lot of interesting parts there. And at the end here, it says, an unsuspecting passing by, a good kicking. So that doesn't sound very good, does it? If you're just minding your own business and a gang of posh kids thought it might be fun to get hold of you and give you a good kicking. So it's a bit what's called tongue-in-cheek. It's a bit of a joke, but it is based on a lot of factual information from Roman times. So I hope you enjoy this text. It's quite fun text, what we'll be looking at this week. So in your science books or on paper, if you would like to do a couple of I think, I wonder and I question, that would be wonderful. Maybe you could also do some research as well as to why wheels were banned during the day, what a litter is and what a peddler is. Maybe you could send your teacher some photos of that. Okay, year 4, have a wonderful day and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye from me.